Have you ever wanted to learn Thai but find it extremely difficult to learn the language? We get a lot of comments here at the Thaiger on perhaps sharing some information and making videos on how foreigners can learn Thai and speak a little bit more fluently. Well, Sarah is making a video this weekend on some useful phrases, and I decided to invite a friend, Paddy, to perhaps share some tips on how you can speak and learn Thai a little bit faster. So ladies and gentlemen, introducing Paddy Jenkins. Paddy, a lot of people complain when they come to Thailand that they find it difficult to learn Thai. Now, me and you have a different experience when we came to Thai. I've been here for 20 years, but you basically arrived here as a student.
So I arrived in between high school and university. I guess you'd call it a gap year.
Yeah.
And I just had this opportunity to do some English teaching and took it with both hands.
Yes. แล้วก็คุณแพดดี้พูดภาษาไทยชัดๆใช่ไหมครับ
ก็ได้บ้างครับได้บ้าง
ไม่ได้ด่าบ้างแบบเคยดูวิดีโอที่ YouTube มีหลายล้านวิว
อ๋อ
ใช่ไหมครับ แล้วปกติคนไทยรู้สึกยังไงครับเวลาคุยภาษาไทยครับ
เวลาคุยเป็นภาษาไทยใช่ไหมก็ปกติจะตกใจใช่สิ่งแรกที่เข้ามาในหัวก็น่าจะเป็นมีแม่คนไทยหรือเปล่า มีแม่เป็นคนไทยหรือเปล่า
That's initially what I thought as well. Like, are you a Hashi or something? But
ไม่เลยเป็นฝรั่ง 100% เลย
okay, I would say let's say there's 3 steps to learning Thai. Let's go for number 1. You come to Thailand, you get maybe a language teacher, and you start learning Thai. Do you think that's effective?
I think it probably is effective for the first 2 or 3 weeks or first couple of months to get some foundations and some structures in your language. I think that would be the same for any kind of language. But if you actually want to build some proper fluency, you have to be able to use that in a proper environment. And for all the vocabulary and all the sentence structures and all the grammatical structures that you can be taught in class, if you don't go out and use it, it's pretty useless.
Yeah. So the reason I ended up learning Thai was because you often go to, Paddy, or you go out with your friends, a lot of your Thai friends, and you're sitting in a restaurant, and they might try to make it easy for you and try to speak English for about 5 minutes, but then someone's got a story and everyone switches back to Thai, and you often find yourself left out.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel left out when you were? And they're not being rude or anything.
No.
Obviously, it's their mother tongue.
It's natural. It's natural wherever you would go for that to happen. And yeah, for sure. The first 2 or 3 months, I remember feeling super isolated and super alienated. I just didn't really know what to do in social situations. I didn't really know how to act. I didn't really understand the culture, anything like that. And Thai was this vehicle to changing my whole perception of the place. Like, it completely flipped the way I view this country. Like, I feel like I have a different system when I speak Thai.
And then you find out all the things that you've been missing on,
Yeah.
right? All the little things, when you chat with people, the music, everything just starts to make sense. Like, oh, this is why the country is ticking the way it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, it's such an insight into the place. It's a raw insight into the place that I firmly believe you cannot understand unless you do know at least parts of the language or have a decent understanding of it. I can't really buy people who say they understand the place without knowing the language. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. All right. Tip number 2, get yourself a Thai partner. So tip number 1, how to learn Thai is, get a language teacher. Tip number 2, get yourself a Thai partner. That was more my case, my partner was actually a singer. So the way I started learning Thai was through songs.
Wow.
And a lot of the times I would have no idea what I'm singing. But it's somewhat easier to follow music.
Yeah.
And because there's a melody and there's a repetition in it. And I used to know all these songs from Tattoo Color, Body Slam, Potato. They were my bands, right?
Totally.
You go to the local pub and you just hear the same songs again and again. It's on repeat for the next 6 months.
It happens. If you learn a couple of songs, then you're usually pretty good at a pub.
Yeah, so that's how I started, and then once I understood the meaning behind these words, all these songs started to make sense, and I was like, whoa, it's a deeply emotional people here in Thailand. So yeah, getting a Thai partner helps, and I guess the third tip would be put yourself in a situation where you have no choice but to learn the language, which is the most extreme and which is your situation. So I believe you were living in a Chiang Mai village where basically you were surrounded by people who you couldn't communicate with, and you soon realized that if you don't start speaking Thai, you're going to be left out and you're going to have a miserable time there.
That was it. That was it. I lived in a village called Hoi Tong, which is 2 hours outside of Chiang Mai City.
Oh, okay.
It is home to the Paganyo people,
Okay.
Thaiger รียกว่า Kariang, the ethnic group of the Northern Mountains, one of the ethnic minorities. And I realized pretty quickly that English wasn't the level of English wasn't super high. So if
Yeah.
I wanted to make any kind of impact or have any kind of friendship circle, then I needed to learn Thai. And I just kind of sunk my teeth in and jumped into every opportunity that I possibly could. It was like, I guess, the benefits of youth. I was 17, 18 at the time. I didn't really know anything about the world. It was pretty much the first time I'd ever left Australia. Up until then, I'd just grown up in Sydney. So I didn't really know about anything to do with Asia, specifically Thailand. And I quickly realized that the only way I was going to properly acculturate into this place was to learn Thai. And I was lucky. I mean, a lot of people who come here and they move to Bangkok. That's a pretty natural thing to do, especially if you're like a young professional. And it's a little bit harder to find your clique or your niche where you can actually go out and use your Thai language. So I was pretty lucky because I was placed into an environment and forced to speak Thai.
How did you learn all these little Thai nuances? You know, like Thai people just have a melody when they're talking. They'll be like, "Gin khao le yang ka," or "na," or like, "oh." It's like, because obviously when you're learning Thai, nobody teaches you the word of na and aw, but you just randomly pick it up, don't you? Depends on who you're hanging out with.
It's just, you just got to hang out with people. You got to hang out with locals. That's the only way you can actually acquire language that people use. There's a lot of like teenage slang these days, which I'm trying to learn, which is stuff that I often don't understand when people are talking.
The word bully is really taken off. I was like, bully is an English word. Why are you using it?
Bully.
Bully, bully. So do you find yourself, when you're with Thais, like, does the way you talk with the na and ah, like, do you become softer? Do you become a bit more melodic?
Well, I think like a lot of people say that when you acquire fluency in a language, you adopt a completely different
mannerisms,
system. Yeah, you can kind of like, so I feel like when I speak English compared to when I speak Thai, I have like two different systems. And that comes with the culture, that kind of comes to do with like taboo things to say in either one culture or the other, where if you translate it, it might sound offensive or whatever, but for whatever reason, it's not in the other. And I'm a different person for sure. Yeah. I'm probably a bit softer, a bit more polite, but also like can say some pretty rogue things as well if I need to.
So I guess for me it's different. Like, I grew up here, right? I've been here for pretty much 20 years, and then eventually I got a hold of the language. But what would you say helped you to learn Thai? Like a few things, like the little things. Obviously, you've surrounded yourself with people, but by yourself, did you ever find yourself practicing the language? Like, did you have a method?
Yes. So there's a few tips I'd probably give. Like, obviously the environment is the first one, and like having confidence to speak. That goes without saying for any language, but specifically to the Thai language, you have to learn how to read and write. In my opinion, reading and writing is critical to being able to nail pronunciation and have the right. There's just some sounds in the Thai language that you cannot Romanize. There's no Roman character to show that sound. So you have to be able to learn. You have to learn to read and write. That's the first thing. The second technique that I used for anyone would be use it in your hobbies. Find ways to be able to use it in a tangible way. I guess for me, doing YouTube really helped as well. It just continues to help. Yeah, I like that. It's a creative outlet. But if you like music, if you like sport, if you like drama, lakons, anything, then there's a way to learn it. But the third one, and the most important one that I've used is like, I never learn just like a single word. I learn in sentence form, so that you can learn like 7 or 8 words in the one sentence, and then you can use that as the structure for any other sentence.
Because then you just remove certain words and use the same sentence in another context.
Exactly. It's kind of like a macro formula for adopting language.
I like the Lakorn one. Like, there's a lot of beautiful women in Thailand. If you find your favorite one, you can watch their soap operas and learn Thai as well. And
it's not my thing, to be honest.
You know why I like Lakorns? Yeah. Yes, they're cringe, right? I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But they speak แบบพูดภาษาไทยแบบเพราะมาก They speak proper Thai, polite Thai. Often when you're with friends, you speak in slang. and I would say slang words to adults, and they would just look horrified at me. But then they'd be like, people here are kind. They'd be like, oh, he's a foreigner. He's trying. It's cute.
Yeah.
But then you reach a certain age, and it's not cute anymore.
For sure.
So I used to watch these soap operas because they have to speak like proper, the proper grammar, proper Thai, very polite, and that's how I actually learned how to speak more polite.
Yeah, and you like mimic it.
Yes, exactly, mimicking it.
Yeah.
But there's no shame in mimicking, is there? You're learning a new language.
It's a genuine technique and a really good one. Really good one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I often tell people who are watching our shows and tourists that are coming here, if you can learn, let's say, even 5 sentences, like, when you're going to buy food, you're trying to haggle with someone, certain words and certain sentences, Thai people appreciate that so much.
For sure.
And you will find them warm up to you, and you'll often get your way just because you're trying so hard. With 5 sentences, you can win over anyone. Would you agree?
I don't know. Maybe. Depends who the person is. But it depends what area of Thailand you're in.
I feel like you can get away with so much.
Yeah.
I feel like I can get away with so many things because now people just know, like, okay, I'm either a foreigner or I'm a halfie, right? I'm a half Thai. So they just give me so much leniency in my language skills, in just going around. He'd be like, it's okay. He's not being disrespectful. He's a foreigner. He can get away with it. Do you feel you can get away with things? Maybe not at first, because
that's why. I think that's the big difference. My look.
The part,
I look like as farang as they come, right? Like I'm whiter than a ghost. So like it helps sometimes. It helps a lot. Not sometimes. It helps a lot. But breaking over the barrier of the exterior sometimes comes with a few challenges.
Okay.
But
cool. My last question to end this segment, I'll ask you is, what do you think about the word farang? Now, as a farang, as both of us are farangs, right? Quite a few people feel discriminated. They feel it's racist. They don't like the word. So before I give you my opinion, I'll ask you, what do you think about the word farang? And if someone calls you a farang?
I could not give a shit.
That's okay. You can completely say that.
I honestly, it's just something that I don't waste my energy thinking about too much. Probably the only time where it actually might be like, a bit annoying is when you have 2 friends that already know you and know your name, and they speak in Thai and refer to you as a farang when they already know your name, and it's like, why wouldn't you just use my name? Yeah. That's just weird to me. But as far as normal Thai life, man, if that lets you annoy you too much, you're going to run out of energy here pretty quickly, in my opinion. Yeah. Because you're not changing it. You're not changing it anytime soon.
Exactly. You're not changing a lot of things here anytime soon.
It is an interesting subject matter, though. I respect that other people have a different opinion, but it does not keep me up at night.
Yeah. Some people get offended. Some people think it's like, it's a racist thing. I've never been offended by the word. I don't think Thai people have any malice when they say that. It's just a way of distinguishing between who's from our country and who's not. Yeah. A farang could be a person from any country. It's not like white man from UK. Yes, traditionally it's, for a white person. I might be more of a, khak kind of person because I've got a beard, I look Middle Eastern or Indian. But I think of all the things you could be mad about, sometimes things can be very slow here. Yeah. You might not like the system very much. Of all the things to get upset, I think farang is open to debate till now.
Farang kinok.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm going to let you Google what that means. All right. Paddy, I just want to say thanks so much for coming in and having this chat and talking a little bit about how, our viewers or people in general can improve their Thai. I think you're an extreme example of what a normal person can achieve. And if you can do exactly. If you can do it, why not someone?
Anyone?
Exactly.
And I agree. A bit of an attitude change, stepping outside the comfort zone, being comfortable doing that. It's anyone can do it.
Yeah, there's no excuse. If Paddy can do it, because at least I grew up here 20 years. I went to school here, blah blah blah. But you literally just came to a foreign country where you couldn't speak the language, lived in a village where no one could speak English. I mean, you made life as difficult as it could be, and you made it out.
Made it out the other side, yes.
All right, well, the motto for today is Paddy can, I can. So thanks,
good.
Paddy. And I hope you've enjoyed this fun video I've made with Paddy. If you want to check out Paddy, he's got his own YouTube channel, Thai Talk with Paddy.
Thai Talk with Paddy.
And he makes amazing, fun content around Thailand. He's in Thailand right now, but even when he lived in Australia, he made fun, amazing, entertaining content and showed that with a little humor and a little fun, you can go a long way. He recently made a video while he was in Chiang Mai, distinguishing between if you'd get a better deal or a better price on taxi, whether you spoke English or Thai. Interesting videos. Check him out. And hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, mate.